Hello and welcome to Videojug. We're going to show you how to make walnut and cinnamon sticky buns. Step 1. You will need the following ingredients to make 20 to 25 buns. For the dough, 450 grams of flour, 25 grams of dry yeast, 85 grams of butter, melted, 135 millilitres of tepid milk, 75 grams of sugar, 2 eggs, and half a teaspoon of salt. For the filling, 60 grams of brown sugar, 85 grams of walnuts chopped, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, and 85 grams of butter at room temperature. And for the syrup, 1 tablespoon of maple syrup, 35 grams of sugar, 15 grams of butter, 100 millilitres of water, 1 tablespoon of lemon juice, and 1 egg yolk mixed with 2 tablespoons of milk. Here is a handy list of the ingredients. You will also need the following utensils: a small saucepan, a baking tray lined with greaseproof paper, 2 bowls, a spoon, a brush, a knife, a rolling pin, and a tea towel. Step 2. Make the dough. Put the flour into a mixing bowl. Then add the yeast and mix together. When well combined, make a hole in the centre for the liquids. Pour in the tepid milk and the melted butter. Sprinkle around the salt and sugar and crack in the 2 eggs. Using a spoon, stir to break up the eggs and slowly start to combine the flour with the liquid. When the ingredients begin to form a dough, start to use your hands as it becomes more elastic. Knead and fold the dough continuously for about 5 minutes until it becomes shiny and smooth. Then put it into another bowl, cover with a tea towel, and leave for about an hour until it has doubled in volume. Step 3. Make the filling. Place the brown sugar into a bowl. Add in the walnuts, the cinnamon, and mix them well. Then put in the butter and combine it all together. Step 4. Divide and roll the dough. Start by sprinkling a little flour onto the work surface and on your hands. Place the dough onto the floured surface. Cut it in half and leave one half aside. Sprinkle some flour over the remaining half of the dough and using a rolling pin, roll it out into a long shape, about 3 millimeters thick. Step 5. Add the filling. Spread out half of the walnut filling onto the dough, in a line along the side closest to you. Then fold and roll up the dough over the filling into one long tube. Finally, cut it into small sections to create the individual buns. Step 6. Place the buns onto the baking tray. Put the buns filling side up onto the tray and press them down so they stay upright. Now repeat steps 4, 5 and 6 with the second half of the dough. Roll it out, add the filling along one side, roll it all up, and cut into individual buns. Then place on the baking tray with the others. Finally, leave the buns to rise for 20 to 30 minutes, covered with the tea towel. Step 7. Preheat the oven to 180 degrees centigrade or gas mark 4. Step 8. Coat the buns and bake. Using a brush, give each of the buns a coating of the egg and milk mixture. Then place the baking tray into the centre of the oven and bake for 15 minutes. Step 9. Make the syrup. Put the water into a small saucepan. Add the sugar, the maple syrup, the lemon juice, and the butter. Heat it up, stirring constantly. Bring to the boil and keep stirring for a couple of minutes until reduced down by half. Then remove from the heat. Step 10. Turn the oven tray. Halfway through baking, turn the tray of buns around in the oven to make sure they're evenly cooked. Step 11. Remove from the oven and serve. After the buns have cooked for 15 minutes, take the tray out of the oven. Then brush each bun generously with the syrup and allow them to cool down slightly before serving. And that is how to make walnut and cinnamon sticky buns the Videojug way.